everyone, Melissa here, CloudMom.com. So if there's one thing a lot of new moms worry about, it's breast milk and how much breast milk your body is producing and whether you have enough supply. So I got this question from a woman named Kelly from our CloudMom community, and I thought it would be a really interesting one to answer in this vlog. So here's Kelly's question. Kelly has a baby born on just 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago. And she writes that her milk came in with no problem. Got my notes here. And she began pumping as well as nursing. Go, Kelly. I think that's great. And she writes, I was pumping close to 9 ounces. Wow. Even after she ate. Now it seems I can only pump about 3 ounces, she says. Kelly wants to know if this is normal and to hear whether we have suggestions on building up milk supply. Okay? So my first question for you, Kelly, is why do you think that there's an issue with your milk supply? To me, really what could be happening is that either your body is regulating itself and producing exactly the amount of milk that the baby needs, or that the baby is simply just eating more. So I don't think that you can use how much milk you're pumping as a good gauge. Really, the gauge for whether you have enough milk supply is that your baby is properly gaining weight, which you and your doctor are going to be looking at very closely, and that you're getting those nice, wet, and poopy diapers. Decent sleep, too, can be a great indicator. So that being said, if you do have questions and concerns about your milk supply, which I think is like a really normal thing to do, here are the things that I've done in the past when I worried about this, and I've jotted them down here in case they're going to be helpful. Okay, so number one, to me this is like breastfeeding one-on-one. The real way to get that breast milk flowing and coming is just keep the baby on your breast as much as possible. To me, that's really where I got that feeling of the hormones, and I would get that letdown feeling like the when I was with the baby and nursing the baby from the breast as directly as possible. And just being in close proximity to the baby I found to be really, really helpful. Okay, so that's the number one thing. Number two thing, take it from Try not to stress too much. I particularly would not worry about how much milk you're pumping. If your baby's gotten a full feed and seems full, great. And if you get even just little droplets or half an ounce, great. That happened to me so many times. Put it in the fridge, and over time, if you do this after each feeding, which is something I recommend in my videos, you're going to find that you develop a nice little supply of milk, okay? Number three thing, take care of mommy. This is so key. This is not the time for any sort of extreme dieting. You need tons of liquids, plenty of milk if you drink milk, calcium, water, juice, fluids, and good, decent food and nutrition. I've even heard oatmeal to be really, really great. So that's a very key part of breastfeeding in my view, and good for you because you should be taking care of yourself anyway. So anyway, those are my thoughts on your questions, Kelly, and on this issue of what to do with breast supply issues. One other little detail I forgot to mention. I have found that this process of putting the pump on for just a few minutes after each feed was enormously helpful to me in establishing a good and steady supply of milk, especially in the late afternoon where I tended to have less milk. So I hope these are helpful. Thank you so much for watching CloudMom.com, and see you next time.